I really love Whitepine. It is an amazing series and one that I personally cannot take my eyes off of. And if you're unaware, Whitepine is a series created by Ivory TV, now boasting 8 episodes of a very drama-filled and tense story. The power of the show mainly comes from its cinematography, and despite it all being created in Minecraft, each scene is more captivating than the last, with the music being a haunting melody or a soft piano.
Where are we going, sir?
I'll be the one asking the questions here, Ivory.
Okay.
But I want to take a look at a scene. One specific scene that, in its 7th episode, was created to perfection. Based off the assumption that you've already watched the show, you may already know what this scene is. But in case you haven't, or just don't remember, Ivory is a maid working in the Whitepine estate, and was questioned about a murder that happened about a day or 2 after she was hired. The detective started off normal, asking questions that he would ask to any other maid and butler. But in future episodes, he began to stalk and sow distrust into the other maids, leaving Ivory feeling stressed, anxious, and alone, despite the friends that she has made throughout the estate. Although later, in Whitepine 7, she was picked up by the detective, assumingly for more questions about the murder. Now that you're all caught up, I want to talk to you about what makes this scene so devastatingly beautiful, built with amazing suspense. So firstly, we'll start with...
It's horrible, I know. But we really need as much information as we can get. Did you notice anything? Any small detail that was different from the usual?
I'm sorry, sir. I wasn't her friend. I don't really have any information for you, and I was just...
Your co-worker has died, ma'am.
What makes the scenes so different and special in Whitepine is how they are delivered. And taking the first interrogation scene from Whitepine 2, it has a lot less pressure. Sure, maybe the detective is questioning Ivory sternly, but even a rational person can understand. They gotta find out who did this, and it's fair to assume that the other maids and butlers were interrogated with the exact same means. However, going deeper into Whitepine 3 and 4, there are many drop-ins from the detective that all feel out of place, almost as if the detective has a grudge against Ivory herself. Now, I'm not here to theorize about the scene or even the show itself, but it almost feels like the detective may have known Ivory or simply just hated her from the beginning. But it finally all ends with a scene from Whitepine 7, all of his rage, anger, and resentment coming out.
Listen to me, Ivory. If you don't start giving me a confession, terrible things are gonna happen.
I didn't do it, sir.
Give me a confession!
I didn't kill her.
Yes, you did!
Whitepine definitely delivers a lot of shock and awe in its scenes, but in the back of my mind, I always think it's just a Minecraft show. But the tools that it uses, such as animation of the characters and the semi-realistic blocky backgrounds, draws the viewer in. Whitepine is known to use many background sounds to convey emotion, such as birds, breathing, and chatter. They have all been used in Whitepine to convey moods. And in the scene itself, it is used to create an amazing synergy. The music slowly fading in as the detective screams at Ivory, creating a sense of light in the darkness. Ivory's tense breathing and continuous refusal of anything to have to do with the murder, making the detective even more angry. As the music ramps up and the screaming gets louder, it is quickly snuffed out by the sound of a hit and the cut to other scenes. The scene is hauntingly beautiful as you take in the estate with your mind on Ivory. What happened to her? Why was she incriminated so much? It raises many background questions as it flips through different scenes, almost giving the viewer a moment to breathe. Overall, this was just a small look at one scene in Whitepine that I just really wanted to talk about. It was a very beautiful scene and one that created so much suspense that it was shocking how good it was. I always really love the things that Whitepine has been creating in the drama scene, and Whitepine 7 was no different. It was amazing and definitely showed off a lot of what you can do with very little resources and just an amazing amount of creativity. And you did it. You made it to the end of this very, very rushed video that took way too long. I really hope you enjoyed it. And I plan on making more videos like this and looking through just some cool stuff I like to talk about. And I really hope you found some inspiration to do it yourself and just to create more. That's kind of what I made this whole channel for, just for people to create and have fun and make things. So Go make things.